What's up, guys? Let's see if anybody comes on. What's up? I see two of you are here. How's it going? What's up? What's up, Dylan? What's up, Guild Rex? I'll wait for a few more to get here and then we'll start. What's up, Jishnu? Hey guys, can everybody hear me? Type yes if you can hear me. What's up, Leon? Recognize you. Guys, type yes if you can hear what I'm saying. Okay, Jishnu says you can hear me. Everybody else good? Okay, cool. Okay, first question from Guildrex46. Kobe or Michael mentality? Spot the difference if you could, please. The difference between Kobe and Michael, I think, comes down to patience. They both were killers, but Jordan was a lot more willing to let the offense come to him. And even Phil Jackson said that. If you watch Steph Curry, there's a similarity between the way Steph Curry starts a game and the way Jordan starts a game. They go in the flow of the offense, they get their other guys involved, and then they start to pick it up. They take their shots in the flow, and then they start to attack at the end. I think Kobe was kind of an immature killer instinct. And that's not to take anything. I'm comparing him to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan just had a more mature killer instinct. And I think that stemmed from being around Dean Smith and just kind of having a different basketball evolution. Okay, Caliology. Love your name. What's going on? I'm watching Michael Jordan motivational video and I see this come up. That's good. Maybe it'll start trending. Cool. Just new. I would like to know if there are any ways I can get taller. I don't think so, man. I mean, that's almost 100% genetic. As long as when my girlfriend just made a stretching movement. So she said stretch. You know, it's funny. Michael Jordan, when he was in seventh grade, he said he hung from pull-up bars, and his dad was 6 foot, and his brother was 5'10". Jordan ended up being 6'6". I don't know, but I think it's genetic. Basically, as long as you got all the right nutrients when you were a baby, you're just gonna max out whatever your potential is. Caliology, why are there barely any articles on MJ's work ethic? I know about his mentality, but can you tell us about his work ethic? Yeah, so Phil Jackson said that Kobe Bryant was a maniac, like almost overdid it, and Michael Jordan worked worked hard and smart. And I think I've said this in the last video. One of the misconceptions about what it is I teach is you should just go all out all the time, nonstop. I think it's very important to have rest days, rest periods to get away. Jordan had golf. Jordan had a lot of different ways to unwind. He was always competing, but he worked very hard, but he also took time off. So Jordan, when he came into the league, couldn't shoot very well. He was still a decent shooter, but Phil Jackson said to get better at shooting, Jordan just shot and shot and shot. If you go through the stuff on this channel, I talk about Jordan's work ethic a lot. But yeah, there should be more articles on that because I think if you watch Jordan, you just think all of it's God's gift, and it's only partly that. Thanks, Dylan. Cool name too. Spelled a little different. This channel is super underrated. Jacob Perez, what's up, man? What do I do on my rest day? On your rest day, rest. I mean, you do active rest. Like I would sometimes, I lived in Florida for high school, so I'd go to the beach. Sometimes I'd go play golf. I had a ton of energy. So I was resting more, yes, to help my body recover a little bit, but it was more about the psychological break. Okay, Michael has to be blessed by God with hand, speed, height, athleticism. Yeah, I mean, totally. I don't know if you could create a more perfect specimen to play basketball. 6'6", longer wingspan, 48, 50-inch vertical, hands like Kawhi, could attack like Westbrook, can jump off 1 foot like LeBron, jump off 2 feet like nobody else in the history of the league, had a soft touch around the rim, decent ball handler, not a great 3-point shooter, but adequate. Has about the same percentage as LeBron. Had he practiced it, he would have been a great 3-point shooter. Had an unstoppable fadeaway, wide shoulders. I remember seeing Jordan in person once, and what struck me was how wide his shoulders were. I mean, he's just a really big guy. Even though he was, I actually, when I met him, I was only like 10 pounds lighter than him. I was 205 pounds, 6 foot. He was 216, 6'6. So it was different composition. Super quick, quick as a cat, quicker than the quickest player in the league today. Um, Great hand-eye coordination, off the charts hand-eye coordination. I remember I watched a documentary about Jordan. They took him to a brain training institute, and they had the lights flash on the walls, and you got to said Jordan scored off the charts on all of that. So, you know, in ancient Greece, we'd consider him a Greek hero. Same with Tiger Woods, same with Michael Phelps. The ancient Greeks thought the gods touched certain souls and into uh, made them into what they were. And I think there's something to that with Jordan, and not something to that gods touch them, but the idea that certain people are just really blessed and gifted with physical abilities. I get nervous a lot during games, says Jishnu, and I mess up. Are there any tips on how to overcome this? Well, what are you doing for the pregame? If you're doing the pregame routine we describe in Basketball Brain, that'll really, really help you calm down before the game. And once you're in the game, if you're getting nervous because of the crowd, I just did a video on my personal channel. By the way, in the description, if you guys could follow Killer Instinct Sports and my personal channel, I'm going to stop not post as much on Basketball Brain. If you guys could switch over to that, I'll start doing live chats there too. But during the game, you can pretend like if the crowd's getting to you, pretend the people in the stands are just rocks or something. You know, they tell you to imagine somebody's naked in the stands, right? If you're giving a presentation, imagine everybody's naked. I think that's stupid. I didn't want to do that. Two, you don't, that's just it just doesn't really work. But if you imagine they're rocks or like dogs or something, like dogs don't care how you play basketball. So if the crowd's getting to you, do that. If the crowd's not getting to you and you're getting nervous just because you're scared to make a mistake, then I would suggest using something I call the zone mantra, which is no past, no future, no outcome, no results. And you say that to kind of get yourself into the present moment. You're not worried about your next shot. You're not worried about your last play, next play, last play, and you're not worried about your distant past and the future. So you're not worried about your big goals and the mistakes you've made in the past or anything. You just try to get into the present moment. Um, no past, no future, no outcome, no results. That's what I would say to myself. And you can even do this, like in a little lull in the game, say no past, look to the left, no future, look to the right, and then say present moment. And when your head's in the center, you'll feel like you're more in the present moment. That's what I would do if you're nervous during the game, because nervousness is just your thoughts. You're just thinking. So nervousness, pressure, everything we talk about, these things don't really exist. They're just thoughts we have. Okay. Let's see. Are there any ways your subs can contact you personally for advice? So I'm not doing that much one-on-one stuff anymore. Partly because I had coronavirus and it messed everything up, and I'm only working about 4 hours a day now. But I'm thinking about doing some chat sessions. But if you email us at basketballbrain@gmail.com, the people I have checking the emails will definitely get back to you. We'll try to set something up. I'm probably not going to do any more phone calls or face-to-face, just chat stuff. It's easier to type. Talking actually is still wearing me out a little bit. Gildrex, I think MJ needed less work than Kobe. Michael was really blessed physically. Yeah, I agree. I don't disagree with that. I think Kobe actually maxed out his talent more than Jordan. Yeah, for sure. I completely agree with that. Tell us more about Michael, especially meeting him. I didn't actually meet him in person. I went and watched him play, and he was off in the distance. I wish I had met him in person. I did know people who knew him when I was coming up, and they just said all the stories you've heard, it's true plus more, plus more. Like his practice sessions were crazy. At Five Star Basketball Camp, I had a few of the coaches there who had been there a long time and saw Jordan play at Five Star Basketball Camp, and were just amazed uh, that he could. Like today, you wouldn't go under the radar. They said he was just incredible, just off the charts good, skilled, hardworking. Like he worked like a 5 foot nothing person works, like somebody who's just out there every day busting their ass and has no talent, no genetic gifts. So Hey, Basketball Brain. I was just thinking about your channel. What's up, Major Gaming? How's it going, man? So I was wondering, my handles are pretty good, but there aren't a lot of vids on dribbling IQ. I want to control the game and kill my opponents with one move. I'm a good dribbler, but not a good ball handler. Well, I think you really should increase and improve your ball handling for sure. I mean, keep working on that nonstop. As far as dribbling IQ, in the Basketball Brain program, we have a drill that teaches you, like, if you can dribble and you're working on your dribbling, what a great passer is. A great passer is someone who has great vision. A great dribbler is actually somebody who has great vision in the peripheral. So we teach you, when you're dribbling, it's called the three dot drill, and you put three dots on your wall and you see all three dots at the same time, right? Left, right, and center. And then you snap or you say switch and you lock onto that center dot. So what you can do is be dribbling and you're seeing the three dots. So you're using your soft vision, your peripheral vision, and then you switch and you lock onto one dot. And you can work on, if you're a passer, locking onto the left dot and the right dot. And if you're in a gym, you can put those dots and throw the ball to them with your left hand, right hand. So if you really want to dominate the game as a point guard, make sure your vision's very quick. When I train great players, the difference in their vision is insane. Like, great players see more of the game and they see it faster. So train yourself to see the game better. That's why Curry's doing all that crazy stuff with the balls and all of that. It's cognitive overload while he's still dribbling. It slows the game down. We're adding more of that to the site in the Killer Instinct program. I love these chat sessions. Great idea. Yeah, I'll probably do them once every 2 weeks. I'm going to do them again, guys. Follow Killer Instinct Sports in the description. That's where I'll do them, and follow my personal channel. Veer Bat, what's going on, man? Hope your health is all good, man. Wishing you the best. Feeling better. Feeling better. Still have some down moments here and there, but definitely am back at it. Back at it. Thank you, though. Guildrex 46. I'm not comparing myself to Jordan, but as Michael had problems like pressure, I'm also human. I have other problems. How do you think he is able to avoid everything and hoop like nothing has happened? You know, at the end of The Last Dance, if somebody said, I can't remember who said it. He said Jordan stayed in the present moment. He was always just in the present moment, and that's how he was able to do it. When you exist in the present moment, you're not worried about what's going to happen in the future. Another thing that helps is when you work incredibly hard, day in and day out, the repetitions diminish fear. When I was working really hard and I stepped on the court, I had an expectation I would perform well. So that eliminates pressure. And just the idea, just knowing that pressure is thoughts and you control your thoughts. You change your thoughts, the pressure disappears. Now, we said at the end of the games, when there's pressure, I get fresher. And it's what we say in high school. You just relax. It's like, I feel fresh. I feel good. Everybody else is nervous. There's no signs or anger or fear. They're the ones in danger, you know? Like, I always felt pressure time's my time. The other team is the one in danger. Even if I had a bad game, it felt like when crunch time came and we had to make a move, I felt confident because I put in so much work. Calialgi, do you know the workouts Michael could have been doing at home as a kid to get better at basketball physically with strength and skill wise? No, I don't. I have no idea. I know he shot a lot, and he used to wake up before school after he got cut from the varsity team his sophomore year and trained with the coach. And I don't know what they're doing. I don't even know if Jordan remembers what he did at that time. When in doubt, get shots up and work on your ball handling. Leon, what's up, man? Didn't MJ and Kobe do the drill where they remove their nervousness? I've seen them both do it at the beginning of the game almost every single time. Yeah, so Jordan does this thing called throwing pebbles. You make a fist. Any game, I don't know if Kobe did it, but possibly. I've seen him do it too, but I don't know if he did it every game. And just to be clear, I've heard from somebody. I tried to verify this is what he's doing. Not entirely sure. But somebody who knew him said that he was doing something to release tension. But I was doing the same drill in high school, and the guy I learned it from had wrote a book on mental training. And the guy had also worked with Dean Smith. So I saw Jordan do it. I was doing it, the same thing at tip off, and it has to be the same thing. So what you do is you make a fist and you think about all the expectations people have for you, and you feel a pebble form in your hand when you think of that expectation. My girlfriend's in the stands. My girlfriend's parents are in the stands. There's a scout in the stands. Pebble, pebble, pebble. And You're basically draining your mind of all those thoughts, and they're going into the palm of your hand. You're throwing them away, and it's crazy how well it actually works when you do that. Fosane Jr., what's up, man? How do I develop the killer mentality like MJ? Well, hate to plug my own products, but at my website, dylanfreed.com, the Killer Instinct program talks about that a lot. It's not just for athletes, it's for anybody, but it really does help you develop the killer mentality. In short, hate to lose. I mean, if you just start to hate to lose, that can really make a big difference in your mentality. Like you got to hate to lose at everything. You can't fake it. That's the weird thing. Like you really got to get invested in the game and not want to lose. And when you lose, it has to piss you off enough to keep working. And it just means to have an intensity that is rarely seen in most people. That's why I call those who have that killer mentality rare people, rare species, because you don't see it very often. They're kind of like snow leopards. They exist in society, in the wilderness, but you don't run into them that often. So that's why there's not documentaries about every NBA player. It's Kobe and Jordan. Thanks for the question, though. And also check out the Basketball Brain program. It's $9.99 right now for quarantine purposes. I dropped the price by 60%. Which program is more powerful, Mr. Crossover, Killer Instinct or Basketball Brain? If I had to choose and you're supremely dedicated to basketball right now, get Basketball Brain. Really, like it's specifically for basketball, it's skills, it's strategy. The Killer Instinct program is more about life in general, but you can use it. It looks at the greats in any field, and analyzes them for you guys to use what they did. So they're both great, but if you're a basketball player, get the Basketball Brain program. Can you leave the video on the channel? It's really late in my country. Yeah, I'm going to leave it up for like 1 or 2 days, and then I'll take it down. If any of you guys want to replay, just email Basketball Brain. I'll send it to you, okay? I'm going to eventually cut it up and make some videos for some of my channels and stuff. Does that make sense? Just do you have any tips for making the high school team as a freshman? I made a video how to handle tryouts. That should help you. And the big thing is, if you're a point guard, really point guard it up, like do point guard drills and shoot a lot. Just shoot a lot. Get good at free throws. Like if you have immense skill and then you do the Basketball Brain program, so you're calm when you go into the game, you're a deadly weapon. Make it so the high school coach has no choice to put you on the team because you have more skill than anybody else. I mean, that's really the key. And if you have the right mentality along with the skill, how can he say no? Be so good they can't ignore you is the quote. SJJ, what's up, man? Yo, Dylan, I love. Take care. You too, man. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Do you know what Michael's mentality could have been in high school towards his schoolwork? I already know about when he got cut towards basketball, but mainly towards academics. I don't know. I think his parents were pretty strict and were pushing him. He was going to go into the Air Force possibly. I think once his basketball career took off, academics kind of took a backseat because they knew, okay, this guy's going to the NBA. But I don't know that for sure. So I would pretend in my mind that he was dedicated to school the same way he was to basketball. I would treat, if you're in school still, treat it just as serious as basketball. Raphael, what's up, brother? How does compartmentalization of your emotions work? Kobe said he created the Black Mamba with that. Right. Well, what's really interesting is if you study any great person, great in the sense that they achieve a lot in this world, things don't bother them the way they bother other people. They can block things off. When Kobe was going through his trial with the girl in Colorado, he was going to be in serious trouble. It was how well he played, and he would block that off, and he created a separate personality. Kobe had to deal with that. The Black Mamba could just play basketball. So you see this happen a lot with sometimes, like if you're like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates, their wives and girlfriends don't feel like they can get close to them because they kind of like if they have a little fight, they don't fix the fight. They just compartmentalize it and go back to work. Like, okay, we're fighting over here, but I got to focus on work. Not saying that's healthy. I'm saying that is what they do. Um, a more advanced version would be somebody who goes through the negative emotion, doesn't have to compartmentalize, just processes it very quickly. But that's another lesson. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to compartmentalize things, even in micro sessions, like in a game. I wouldn't consider it compartmentalized, but you got to close the door on a mistake. I always say, like, in Indiana Jones, when he's running through the temple and the door slams behind him, he can't go back that way. You dribble the ball off your foot, you make a mistake, bad pass, miss a shot, slam the door so you can't even, your mind can't even go back that way. So that's kind of like compartmentalizing in the game. Okay, Andre, what's up, man? Um, Dylan, what are the relationship between the killer instinct and psychopathology? Don't you think we could learn from psychopaths how to be better competitors? Well, okay, that's a touchy subject because I don't want to create a program that's like the 50 or 48 rules of power, whatever that is, right? Or a Machiavellian program. You don't want to be a psychopath, but I know what you're saying. So, like in the Killer Instinct program, I have this section that compares paranoia to killers. For instance, like a paranoid, let's take Hitler, right? And now my video is going to get demonetized, but whatever. Um, they call it a delusional nucleus, this belief that you have that no one can rationally talk you out of. And Hitler thought the Jews were evil and he was going to wipe them out. No one could convince him otherwise. This is what he believed, and that Germans were superior. In killers, I've noticed they have something called the knowing nucleus. I named it the knowing nucleus. They have a knowing within them what they're going to do. Elon Musk is going to Mars. Jordan is going to win championships. Tiger Woods is going to win majors. You can't talk them out of that, right? So paranoia, you could say, is a form of psychopathology, not psychopathy proper. I actually did a small bonus talk in the Killer Instinct program about the relationship between the killer instinct and sociopaths and psychopaths, but just a little small lecture. Most killers are good people. They're vicious on the court, they're vicious in the game, they're vicious when they're in business. But outside of that, they're genuinely good people trying to be nice. And they're even decent in business and in sports to a large extent. So, but it's an interesting topic. I actually thought about doing a program based on just that, psychopathology, sociopaths, and like paranoia and stuff like that. Veer, what's up? I do something similar to Jeopardy. I've been watching your videos forever now. Is there any other advice you'd give me? Um, just make sure you're training your mind. I mean, really, train your mind and take the game easy too, because you guys who follow my channel are some diehards, and you can put too much pressure on yourself. I know pressure is just a thought, but that's the thought you put on yourself. Basketball's life and death. Amazing thing about Jordan is it was very, very important to him, but it didn't define who he was. So don't let your performance define who you are, and that relieves pressure. It really does. If you can say, "I'm a good person either way, whether I play bad, I play poorly, I'm still a good person. My life's not defined how I dribble a leather ball and put it through a round hoop." Take some pressure off you. So that's my advice. Liam Brown, love your basketball brain work. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, dude. Caliology, do you think Michael Jordan had jealous friends of him? Um, Let me think about that. Yeah, probably. Yeah, he probably had jealous friends. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. He probably had jealous friends. But he had good friends too. Like the first guy he met when he came to Chicago, I think it was his driver named George. Guy picked him up. The Bulls didn't send anybody to pick him up. So there's just a limo driver sitting there. And his name was George. And he said, "Hey man, you want to give me a ride?" George didn't know who he was. Gave him a ride and they stayed friends forever. They're best. He was in The Last Dance. They're best friends to this day. Juan, what's up, brother? Hey, man, do you think coronavirus will change basketball? If you do, I think so. How? Um, I hope not. I hope not. But for the next year or two, yeah, it might be played without fans. And if there's no fans in the stands, you might see some guys who choke under pressure no longer choking under pressure. Okay, so that could change it. Yeah, I mean, it could change how guys perform, and some guys feed off the crowd. Like maybe Westbrook doesn't play as well, or LeBron said, I do it for the fans, so maybe he doesn't play as well with nobody in there. Tough questions. Kelly Algie, how do you handle jealous friends? Get around bigger, better people. And also understand jealousy is natural. Like, don't hate your jealous friends. It's just part of being it's part of being human, you know? So, it's going to happen. It's going to be there. So don't be jealous. Baller N, what's up, man? In your opinion, what is the difference between your passion and your calling? I think for a lot of people, they're synonyms. They're exactly the same. I think when you use the words, they affect you differently. So when you say passion, you feel like it's something within you driving you, right? You say calling, it feels like something's pulling you. So one way to use them both is your calling activates your passion. Whatever your calling is, to be a great athlete, be a great writer, a great businessman, that's pulling you forward. Then you have this passion inside that drives you, you know. So that's kind of the way I see it. I think they're mostly synonyms, the way most people use it. I'd have to think more about it, but off the top of my head, that's the difference. Guild Rex, what's the perfect mindset you think you need to approach a game? Like a quiet storm mindset. Like you're a danger, but you're also in control. It's that yin and yang. You're like the wind between the yin and the yang. You're letting the game come to you, and you're also attacking, right? Because something having the mentality that will get you 30 point. Yeah, that's right. You can over try for sure. You can certainly over try. So make sure you don't do that. Make sure you don't do that. But it's okay. You can set it and forget it, right? I forget what commercial that was, but you can set the intention. I'd like to score. I prefer to score 30 points this game, and then forget it. Just program in your subconscious mind, and then let the game unfold. Let the game unfold. Baller, can you save this video for your channel? It'll be up for 2 days. If you guys want it afterwards, hit me up at basketballbrain@gmail.com. And everybody who's here listening right now, if you just got on here, make sure you follow Killer Instinct Sports. So I put this out earlier. We only have 20. Last time we had like 50 or 60 people in the live chat, but I love you guys who are here. What is the perfect mind workout? Joshua, what's up, brother? I think the Basketball Brain program is really good if you're a basketball player. I have on my site for, I think it's at $2.99, a program called the Rare Mind. And that will kind of show you how to keep a peaceful mind no matter what's going on around you. So you could check that out too. But the perfect mind workout is to visualize, use affirmations, do mental swishes, and yeah, I mean, what the daily drills in the Basketball Brain program or at killerinstinctsports.com, those programs really help. Major Gaming HD, what's up? Sometimes this virus gets to my head, like I can't play with my team, and my parents are super cautious. Sometimes I feel like I'm not going to go on the court anytime soon. Yeah, I've actually got a lot of emails about that. Everybody's in the same boat, man, and your parents are being rational, and it's understandable. I assume you're younger since your parents are involved, and I would look at the stats, present the stats to your parents, like here's the dangers of me getting this, and if I get it, here's what could happen in my age group. It's highly unlikely you would suffer any catastrophic illness because of it, but you could bring it home. So everybody's in the same boat. See the NBA going back and forth. Yeah, I mean it's tough times, but stay positive, visualize, and work on what you can. Andre, there are some traits of psychopathy that seem very useful, such as being cool under pressure, tolerance for pain, emotional detachment, intense focus, and so on. What are your thoughts? Yeah, I've looked at psychopathy and thought about using it. I just think like some people can take it the wrong way, because psychopaths detach emotionally and then hurt other people. um, they're cool under pressure, partly because they're monomaniacal. A lot of the time, they have one focus. They can be intelligent. There's some interesting there's an interesting relationship between highly successful people and psychopathy, but you've got to ignore a lot of the other stuff that comes along with psychopathy and kind of cherry pick things that relate to killers. But yeah, I've thought about doing a full program on mental illnesses in quotes and success. I've really thought about making it, but in this day and age, people really misinterpret that like I'm promoting mental illness or something crazy. But I do hear what you're saying for sure. Leon, do killers put pressure on themselves? If so, how much and how often? A little bit of pressure on themselves is always good. It's like it can get you focused. Like Jordan was always looking for challenges. You got to look for challenges, and that can feed you a little bit. Like a good example is like if you ever played a video game and there was some level you wanted to pass or something, that challenge, that pressure, like, okay, I'm going to beat this tonight before I go to bed, that can be helpful. But you'll also notice as you get close to beating the level, that extra pressure you've put on yourself can cause you to freeze and mess up. So you got to put pressure on yourself, but just a little bit to wake you up, then back away from it. All right, guys, I'm going to go another 5 minutes here, and then I got a call tonight. Joshua OS, what's up, man? What would you say a quiet storm mindset is like? And I respect your content because the mind is a tricky thing to control. Thanks, brother. The quiet storm mindset is not to play like what Russell Westbrook, but to be at like a 7.5 on offense. We always talk about that on this channel. If you don't know what that is, there's some other videos, and it means you're in control of the game. You're kind of you're coming for the competition, and you're in control, but within you is a fury, something that can cause chaos. The quiet storm mindset is, well, it's something like this. When your teammates are in chaos, you bring control, right? When the other team is in control, you bring chaos. You try to disrupt them offensively and defensively. If your team's out of control, you're bringing the control in. So you're aware of the game, you're in the present moment. You're like, when I say quiet storm, it's like, you're not, there's not a big show, there's not a big display. You never really saw Jordan slapping his chest and all of that. Instead, you saw him just dominate in a quiet way, but a powerful way. Um, can you still be focused on your craft and work out like Kobe nonstop, but still have hobbies and other passions? Yeah, I mean, look, if you're putting 4 or 5 hours a day into basketball, 3, 4, 5 hours a day, you're going to get really close to maxing out your potential, and then you can do other things. I have a lot of passions and interests. The coronavirus has struck me down for a while, but so I couldn't work as much. But I love. I have a lot of hobbies. I'm trying to get a max out in Tetris right now. I spend 20 minutes a day doing that. I'm taught myself French, and I can't speak it yet, but I can read it and I'm starting to understand it when I listen to it. I can read Spanish. Like, I have a lot of hobbies. So, and I totally focus on psychology and writing mostly, and which is my business as well. Joshua, what is affirmation? Affirmation is something you say to yourself over and over again. Like, I'm always in the zone. I'm always on fire. I'm always in the zone. I'm always on fire. Self-made Blaze, as a point guard and a talented what's the best way to balance scoring and getting teammates involved? In other words, when is it appropriate to look for your shot more? It's a feel. So if the team, and it also has to do with how the coach looks at you. If the coach knows this about you and your team's struggling, you just got to sense it. You can't let your team get down too much. If you're hot, you also got to have a part of you, which nobody talks about. You got to have that part of you that at a certain point says, okay, my teammates need to rebound and get me the ball. There's a lot of guys who don't have that. Now, you got to be the best player on the team to get that mentality. You can't be, the second best player even. If you're the best player on the team, you got to have that mentality that says, okay, we're struggling tonight. Give me the ball. Or sometimes you're just killing it. You're just killing it. And, well, give me the ball, even if your team isn't struggling. That's the way I would do it. Otherwise, yeah, get everybody involved. Raphael, one day you could do a psychological profile of Derrick Rose. Yeah, for sure. I'm doing a bunch of different athletes. Again, guys, if you just got here, go to Killer Instinct Sports. There's a link in the description. Make sure you follow that YouTube channel because that's where I'm going to do a lot more profiles and stuff. But yeah, Derrick Rose, there's so many. It's just time, So like, I don't spend that much time on sports psychology. I'm really working on just self-improvement in general, and hopefully someday going back to school. I'm trying to get this individualized studies in a study in neuroscience, a master's degree. School's on hold for now, but yeah. So I mean, and I run some other companies. So I would do a lot more if this was my only focus. Somebody just asked about your hobbies, and this, to be honest, like basketball brain and killer isn't my passion. I just it's a hobby. I still love basketball, and I like to spend 30 minutes a day, helping you guys if I can, because I feel like I have a certain expertise in this small little sector of sports, which is training the mind. Andre, what's up? Thank you for answering me. You got it, man. Do you have any book on the subject of psychopathology that you recommend reading, which can be used at normal people? What we could learn from them? Shout out from Brazil. What's up, Brazil? How's it going, man? Brazil. I've yet to be to go to Brazil. I think I landed there once. I didn't get a chance to stay, so got to go. Book on psychopathology. Yes. Email me and I will send it to you. I can't remember the title, but it's a really good overview. Well, oh, you said it could be used for normal people. Probably Relentless is kind of a look at psychopathology, and I know you probably read that, but that's really it. There's a darkness in Relentless, in my opinion. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just stating like he's giving you a real look at how killers operate. Juan, Dylan, my goal is to play professional basketball and ultimately an NBA player. How do you think I can get more attention if I'm a South American player? Love your craft, man. Thanks, Juan. Put your videos on YouTube and don't be shy. Send them to everybody. If I could go back to high school, one thing I would do is I would send my content to everybody. Like my highlight tape. This is back when we had VHSs and you had to send them out. I just waited for it to come to me. And if I could go back, I wouldn't do that. I would send it out to more people. I'm not saying it would have gave me the best chance, right? Would have gave me the best chance. The only reason I got letters is because I played against good people and scouts were in the stands and they saw me. So I've been more proactive. All right, I'm going to answer the next thing that I got to get out of here, guys. And a game with bad refs can be real frustrating and throw you off your game. How do I not let that get to me? Dude, that was my Achilles heel too. Like referees always got to me. I wasn't thrown out of too many. Maybe one game I got thrown out of. I got literally tackled on a 3-point shot to win the game. I'm not exaggerating when I say tackled. We were playing in a gym with these concrete steps. Okay, so he like threw me into these concrete steps. Everybody in the gym, even their own teammates, were kind of like, "Yeah, you got fouled." I went off, got thrown out. I think the same thing. Well, what I used to do in high school is, as soon as I would get mad at a ref, I just picture a blue square, just calm blue, like the blue sky. That's why the basketball brain logo is a blue square. Because I'd picture that, and it would calm me down. So flash a blue square like a blue sky in your mind as soon as you feel yourself starting to get mad and get back in the present moment. What Davis Neal, what's up, man? What are some additional affirmations apart from the master mantra that will not only improve your game on the court but also off the court in different sports and areas of life? If you search affirmations in the Basketball Brain channel, you can find some affirmations there, and also on my personal channel, which is linked down below. It's funny you say that. I'm coming out with a new affirmation video pretty soon, probably next day or two. Thanks for the question. Andre, Rafael Nadal is a very interesting one. I read a book about him, very different than most of the greatest competitor. He's never very confident, weird. Yeah, so there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. There always is. And that's why I tell you guys, find what works for you and use it. Find what works for you and use it. The human mind, look, your fingerprints are all unique. The human mind is at least as unique as your fingerprints. But there are some overall patterns that tend to hold among most of the greatest players I've studied. But yeah, there are some people are driven mostly by an inferiority complex. You could even say that is true of Jordan. Like he was scared to be beat and drives his work. There's a paranoia there, that the enemies are out to get you. I put that in the Killer Instinct program too, that paranoids always feel surrounded. Yeah, that's how killers feel. They feel like the competition's coming to get them. At the same time, they also feel like predators. So when they feel hunted when they're practicing, so they practice harder, but when they step out to perform, they feel like the predator. They feel like the prey when they're practicing, the predator when they perform. Thank you for the question. Okay, last three here. Andre, Caliology, can you read my comment, please, before you leave? You keep skipping it. I don't see it, man. I'm trying to go one by one. Yeah, I'd write it again because the last comment I see from you, how do you handle jealous friends? I answered that if you didn't hear it. And two, what are some books to help mentor a young high schooler? Some good books. I don't know. I mean, it depends what you're into. I mean, I would check out Personal Power by Tony Robbins if you're into success. That'd be a good one. Also, check out Wayne Dyer's Your Erroneous Zones. I'm trying to think of the books I read when I was like 15, 16 years old. Those really helped me. I hope that helps. And grab my book when it comes out soon. I'm working on it now. Baller, how do you become a competitive person if you're not really one? I think you have to think about what the game actually means to you. I mean, there is an advantage to not being that competitive. There's not as much pressure. But at the same time, think about what the game really means to you. For me, it was innate. I just hated to lose. I felt inferior when I lost. I felt it wasn't fair. I'd worked so hard, and for somebody to even beat me in a little game, I would get furious. And I get mad when I lose at anything at all. So, Alejandro, what's up, man? How's it going? Andre, can we create our own affirmation? Should it be based on our problems? Sure, you can do that. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I always suggest whatever problem you're having, pick the opposite or pick a diagonal, right? Like if you're like I lack confidence, that's your problem. Just say I have supreme confidence. Just go the opposite way. I'm sad all the time. I'm happy all the time. Like your words can be very powerful, especially when you change your body language with them. Now, if you're really sad, you're really depressed or something like that, you need professional help, and there are great therapists out there. But for the most part, just pick the opposite and say it 100 times a day. It makes a difference. I know a lot of people put it down, affirmations, but it works for me. Okay, nice video. You're welcome, man. Okay, last question from my guy here. What's up, brother? Abishan. I hope I said your name right. Hey, Dylan, I just thought I would stop by and ask how is your health? How's your family? Everybody's good. I'm feeling better. Still having some tough days, but doing better now. Working a little bit more. Thank you. Baller, you're welcome, man. All right, guys. I've been on here 40 minutes. I'll leave the video up for like 2 days. If you, after that, if you want a copy of it, just email me. I'll send it to you. Also, please, please, please go check the description, follow Killer Instinct Sports and my personal channel, because that's where I'm going to be doing a lot of posting. And hopefully I can get a better camera. This is just the camera on my Mac, so it's a little pixelated, but hopefully I'll get a better camera set up here, some better lighting and stuff. All right, guys. Caliology, I don't see your comment. Email me at basketballbrain@gmail.com. I'm not skipping your comment. I don't see it. The last comment I have from you is how do you handle jealous friends? That's the last comment. So just email me. I'll respond. Basketballbrain@gmail.com. Okay. Oh, Andre, you're never a basketball player. Awesome. Yeah, I remember. I think you told me that. You played soccer a little bit. Now, cool. And you're always coming on my personal channel too. I appreciate it. All right, guys. I'm out for now. I think maybe in a few days I'll do another one. Maybe every Sunday, every Monday, I'll do a live chat, but I'll start to move to Killer Instinct Sports. And I'm going to do it on my personal channel as well. If you guys have questions about your life in general, not sports. All right, guys. Peace out. Take it easy.